Series meeting availabilities this afternoon. We are pleased to be joined by Rahal, driving the number 15 Steak and Shake Honda for Rahal, Letterman Lanigan Racing this weekend. Graham, you just tweeted recently, I saw on your Twitter that practice one was a tough session for you. It's going to be a very physical race. Tell us a little bit about how the first practice went for you and what you're expecting this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's looks, I'd say it appears that we're going to have our hands full here. All things being considered, it looks like Chevy was pretty dominant there. Probably the most dominant they've been all year in the first session, and we're going to have a little work to be done to close that gap. And, I didn't get to run on stickers at the end like I think a lot of others did, so I don't feel terrible, but I don't know if we would have cracked the top 10, and that's pretty frustrating when we're driving as hard as we are. But it should be, all in all, I think we'll have to just outrace them, outfight them, when it comes to that time tomorrow. And I think this place is, depending on what the weather's going to do for us, it's going to be pretty physical on both days. Obviously the track's got quite a bit of bumps to it, and therefore it kind of beats you up a little bit more. But we'll see how this goes. I think we just have to keep pushing hard and trying to put ourselves in the best possible position as we have been all year.
Obviously, this is IndyCar's only doubleheader weekend of the season as well. You've had some experience with these the past several years in IndyCar. What's your experience been like? And you're talking about the physicality. It has to be pretty hard on you and also on the team as well.
Well, it's hard. I mean, here's the thing for me is I'm 7 points out of third in the championship, and we can't have a bad weekend. And particularly this weekend, with being a doubleheader, there's 2 opportunities here to gain points or lose them. There's a lot of guys around us. We got a good little gap behind us to 6th, but I don't want to go backwards. We want to put ourselves in a position to keep challenging these guys going forward. And I think we're one of only 2 Hondas in the top 10 in points right now, and we want to make sure that we keep leading that charge and moving ourselves forward. And so there's a very heavy emphasis on this weekend in particular, as it really is, double points weekend. So we got to make sure we do a great job. Qualifying is going to be important coming up here soon. I don't know what the weather's going to do. It certainly looks like it's going to rain on us. Hopefully that can blow by, and we'll have to just do the absolute best that we can to put this car as far forward as possible.
All of that being said, if anybody has momentum coming into this weekend, it has to be you. You've had some very strong results. Haven't finished lower than, I think, 11th all season, and 3 top 5 finishes in the past 3 races. What's changed this season? It's obviously been a tough few seasons for you, and it seems like things have really turned around.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I only had 1 top 5 all last year. If I had more than that, I'd be surprised. But, the team's just doing a hell of a job. I'm, really proud of these guys and the effort they put in on weekends like this weekend, where the practices haven't gone quite as well as we would have liked. I think the team always responds very, very well into the next session, and we always seem to improve, which is a great thing. Really, it's, I think a lot of people give me the credit for these things in the turnaround, but it's not me. It's the guys behind me that have just done a heck of a job in putting this team in a great position this year. And we got a lot of momentum on our side for sure. I mean, to what I kind of feel like was steal a 5th place finish at Indy was nice, and but now we're gonna have to. I mean, we want to win. We feel like we've been second best all year. It seems like. You look at the results. I mean, I think at this point, you look at St. Pete. I mean, we should have probably had another top 5 in St. Pete. So, all in all, this team has been really the one leading the charge for Honda and in the hunt. And we're going to try to carry that momentum through this weekend. Now, like I said, first practice to see the gap between where the Honda was, the fastest Honda and the fastest Chevy. It's a little bit demoralizing, but we're going to keep pushing as hard as we can, try to close that gap up.
Questions for Graham? Yes, Tony.
Graham, how different did the car feel without the end plates?
Not 1 ounce. In fact, I would say to this point, this is the most difficult car I've had to drive all year. Now, I don't think that's the front wing. I think it's just how rough this circuit is in combination with the aero kit. Our aero kit, compared to the Chevy, I think is ultra sensitive to bumps. It's ultra sensitive to lifting off the throttle, to hitting the brake pedal hard, to doing, you know, the pitch sensitivity side of things, and then you throw in a bumpy circuit and it makes it even worse. So that's what we've struggled with all season, and this place seems to be the bumpiest track that we've been to yet. So, you know, I mean, it's kind of compounding here at this point, but hopefully when we get, where will we go next? Texas and Toronto. Toronto might not show it too well. We got to figure out where the next, you know, permanent road course is. It's kind of flatter, and hopefully we can show a little bit better there, because I think that's where this wing might be more of a benefit.
Yes.
How tough is it going to be? You said it looks like it's going to rain for qualifying, rain overnight, and then cooler this weekend. So what you saw in practice is not going to be at all the conditions during the races and qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's part of the game. We're all kind of going through the same thing here for sure, and you know, hopefully if it does rain, you know, that could kind of equalize things a little bit. This place, I don't know. You know, I can't really remember too well. I mean, but I would say the new concrete is probably going to be pretty grippy because it's pretty coarse concrete. All the older stuff that gets polished off typically becomes a little bit more slippery, but you know, we'll have to go out there and make the most of it and see how she is. But we've been pretty solid. I mean, in the rain so far this year, everything's gone pretty well for our team. You know, so we just have to kind of go out there and push as hard as we can. Obviously, you know, Sunday's supposed to be 20 degrees cooler than today, and that'd be nice, you know. After doing a full race tomorrow on Sunday, to get a little AC in there would be a good thing. But we'll have to see how this all plays out. I mean, it looks like it's raining, you know, pretty good right now, but who knows what could happen here.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the track compared to last year. You mentioned the grippiness of the concrete, but also changes in turn 7 and that little elbow between 1 and 13. What do you think about it?
Well, I thought that you know, the paving was obviously a nice thing, you know, to have done. I thank Roger for all the work that he's put in on this deal, on this program, and you know, I think the bigger change by straightening out the brake zone into 7. You know, there's a huge bump on the entry to it, though. Right as you apply maximum brake load, there's a massive bump. If you get, I don't know if they could grind that thing or something, but if you could get rid of that, I think the rest of it is all very good, you know. You know, but the thing I found here is that while straightening out that brake zone and stuff and all those things are great, I mean, this track is, I mean, I watched every single race replay from the year before. I go back and watch it again, and I watched last year. There's so much stuff that goes on here. It's absolutely unbelievable. So there's a lot of action, and you know, I think all those changes are going to play a role in it, but I think the racing's still going to be phenomenal.
If I could follow up, sorry to keep asking about it. Congratulations on the engagement. For our readers in Detroit, can you just talk about doing this on a long distance basis and both of you being so popular in your sport? How's it going?
Well, I mean, it's, you know, everything's pretty easy. You know, I think you know, we would have liked obviously for Courtney to be here this weekend since she's not racing, but it's her little nephew's 2nd birthday, so you know, she's back home. But that's kind of the way these things go. You know, she was saying, I was on the phone with her about 10 minutes ago, and she's like, I just need a day off. I said, well, hell, I'd like to have your days off. If today going to lunch with your friends and going shopping and a day off, and I don't know what, I'm looking forward to this one of those. But no, it's all good. You know, everything's it's busy right now. Obviously, I'm gonna go home from here. I land Sunday night back in LA, and then she's dragging me along to Santa Barbara for wedding planning Monday, Tuesday. So wish me luck. Thank you.
With the new aero kits, has what you've learned about this place in the past, does a lot of that go out the window, or is it still viable?
No, it's still viable, but as you've seen, I mean, obviously the speeds this morning were extremely quick. And I don't think that that's the track changing that's made that speed. I mean, you know, there's obviously quite a bit of grip out there to be had, and So I think for sure the aero kits are everything you've learned before still works. Like as far as your lines and the track bumpiness and the areas that you need to avoid and all those sorts of things. I mean, it's still very viable. Just aero kits seem to be pretty quick in certain areas and struggle in others, but all in all, I think you're seeing the speeds are pretty high already. I mean, first practice last year, I want to say it was like an 8.9 was quickest, and then obviously today was a 6.4. That's 2.5 seconds. That's a lot of time.
Any other questions for Graham before we let him go? Graham, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend.